on this computer. There we go, folks. All right. We are recording. We are live. Bienvenidos. Buenas noches, mi gente. ¿Cómo está? This is Danny Navarro, co-founder of Latinos of Passports with Lori, my beautiful wife. How you doing? We are the Latinos of Passports, but we have created this special project called the Copa Travelers. It is indeed a project of Latinos of Passports with the specific aim of teaching travelers in the United States and soccer fans in the United States and Canada and Mexico to learn to travel hack the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I almost started there. The 2026 FIFA World Cup in 4 years' time. I understand we're 4 years early, but we're learning all the travel hack tips now. So that way, by the time the next World Cup comes around, we are ready to go and ready to save thousands and thousands of dollars in our World Cup travels. So thank you for joining us tonight. We are going to cover topic number 3. If you missed the first 2 webinars, please visit our website at www.thecopatravelers.com. So now you can see the other 2 presentations. Those were on travel hacking 101 and credit card travel hacks. Today, we're going to cover non-credit card ways that you can earn points and miles. This is extremely important, especially for those that are just starting on their credit card journey or unable to get a credit card, or for various reasons. People might think, oh, travel hacking is only for people that have a credit card. That is incorrect. You cannot be more wrong in that respect. There are ways you can travel hack. There are ways you can earn points and miles without needing to use a credit card. Of course, a credit card is a great tool. It's a great way to accumulate the points and miles faster. But as I said, for those of you that are unable to earn points and miles through credit cards, there are non-credit card ways to do this. So we're going to go ahead and talk about earning points and miles without a credit card, the real, truly free ways that you can earn points and miles, ways to amplify your earnings, and then, of course, ways to amplify your savings, which will be, hint, hint, topic number 4 of our 4-part webinar series, which is on saving money. But we'll get to that in a bit. Okay, so, mi gente, why is it important to earn points and miles without a credit card? Well, it promotes saving money, okay? Because what tends to happen, unfortunately, when you start following blogs and Twitter followers and Instagrams of various travel hackers, is that you get the wrong impression sometimes, right? You might get the impression that because they're flying first class every time, or because they're participating in these buyers clubs, or they're doing all these things, right? Being affiliates with credit cards and whatnot, that is the only way you can pursue credit card, travel points and miles. And then by doing that, you're having to spend, right? That you need to spend to get these points and miles. That is far from the truth, okay? We don't want you to have to overspend to get these points and miles, because at the end of the day, if you overspend, then these points and miles are worthless to you, okay? Because then you're gonna have to be paying back the interest on those credit cards if you're unable to pay them in time in full every month. And so you lose the value of the points and miles. So by earning points and miles without a credit card, it actually promotes this idea, this financial habit of save money, okay? Now, with the money that you're already spending, yes, earn points and miles from that, but don't overspend. So by doing this, you're actually promoting yourself and saving money. It does provide that check on overspending, as I indicated, and it does increase your travel hacking knowledge. How? Because then you're not just looking at travel hacking as this one thing, which is only credit cards, right? Now you start looking at ways that you can earn points and miles without needing those credit cards, right? Without having to do that, overspending, swipe the card here, swipe the card there. No, you can just increase your travel hacking knowledge by doing all of the other things that don't require you to swipe your credit card, okay? It encourages travel planning. And how is that so? Because now, beyond swiping your credit card on all your necessary purchases, now you start thinking, hey, if I go to this restaurant, not only do I earn points on my credit card, but I earn points by having gone to that restaurant. Or if I'm on the metro and I'm only listening to music, maybe I fill out a survey and get me 20 miles. And might not be much. 20 miles is not much. But in many instances, that could be $10 to $20 that you did not have to spend to get those miles, right? And all you had to do was fill out a survey for 10, 15 minutes. So it encourages this idea of like, hey, I am able to plan better, right? I'm able to plan much more comfortable trips because now I'm bringing in more points and miles, right, than what I was doing otherwise. And then at the end, it does promote generational wealth. How so? Okay, how so? And maybe this is a bit of a stretch, but I would argue that by earning points and miles without a credit card allows you to save money, as which was the first part, right? But then without encouraging yourself to spend more, you get to invest it. You get to put it in high yield savings accounts. You get to put it in all of these other types of projects and all of these other types of financial projects that allow you to have, excuse me, that emergency fund or that other financial project that allows you to build wealth over time. So by being able to get these points and miles on the free, quote unquote, right, without having to spend extra money, that allows you to save your hard-earned cash for other more necessary and important projects. Okay, so let's talk about the truly free ways that you can earn points and miles. Okay, these are free to you. What do I mean by that? That you do not have to spend a single dime. Okay, and the number one way to do that is by signing up for an online survey portal. Okay, now you might have seen other travel hackers not really promote the survey portals. Why? Because they take a long time. You don't really earn the thousands and thousands of points and miles that you could earn if you just meet the minimum spend on a credit card. But remember, we have about 3 years time or so to accumulate as many points and miles as possible. So if you don't have a credit card right now, right, for whatever reason, and you might need some time to get there because, you know, credit score, whatever other reason may be, that doesn't mean that you should then waste the 3 years waiting for that one credit card when you could have been building up your miles. Okay, so that's why we promote the online surveys as much as possible. What are they? First of all, online survey portals are basically these websites where you get paid for your opinion, straight up. You fill out a survey that could take about 10, 20, maybe even 30 minutes, and they will give you a certain amount of miles or a certain amount of points, okay? The majority of US airlines and hotels do have these survey portals. You do have to check. We do have resources where we can share afterwards that will give you a full listing of all the airlines and hotels that do provide the survey portals. And like I said, you can earn various amounts of points and miles for completing the surveys. Typically, the shorter the survey time, the less points and miles you earn, typically. But, you know, you can go ahead. Sometimes they'll give you 1,000 points, right, if you fill out a survey in 20 minutes or in 30 minutes. And those are the really good ones, right? Now, a word of caution here. Only sign up for 1 to 2 portals. Why is that? Because yours truly signed up for every single survey portal out there. And unfortunately, I got locked out of all of them. So unfortunately, I cannot earn any more airline miles or hotel points through the surveys. We still have Lori's account. So fortunately, we do have hers, but we only do the Alaska Airlines survey portal and the Hilton Honors survey portal, which I believe is one of the few, if not the only hotel chain groups that offer a survey portal. And so what we do is we complete a couple of surveys every day or every other day, and we just passively earn those points and miles. Because de a poquito, little bit by little bit, you start seeing your balance grow and grow and grow. Okay? And again, this is really a true free way. The only thing that's costing you is your time, right? But sometimes, as I mentioned, you're going to be on the train, going to work, 20 minutes, boom, knock out a survey, right? Coming back, boom, knock out another survey. Earn yourself these little extra beady points that you did not have to spend money otherwise to get. And there you're going to start seeing your account grow and grow and grow. Okay. Set monthly goals if you want, make it competitive for yourself, and you should be able to reach add and reach to your goals faster than what you expected. The next really truly free way to earn points and miles is by getting reimbursements from your work. Okay. Now, this one's a little bit tricky because some of us might have access to it, some of us don't. Unfortunately, in my current job, they're really stringent about this, so I'm not able to do this. But in my previous job, I was able to. So actually, take this into account, especially if you're job hunting, I definitely am, that in my next job, if I'm able to get reimbursements from any spend that I need to make on my own credit card, woo, easy way to make additional points and miles, okay? Of course, you want to make sure that you're using your loyalty number whenever you're traveling for work. Please, please, please use your loyalty number. This is how the rich businessmen do this, okay? No le de pena. Don't be shy. Put that loyalty number in, all right? If work is paying for the flight, fine. If they're going to make you use their credit card, fine. I'm going to put my loyalty number. Get yourself those miles, okay? When you're traveling, make sure you use those dining portals, okay? Similar like the survey portal, these dining portals is just a listing of restaurants that if you go and spend your money there and use the credit card that you have linked to that profile, you will earn additional points and miles. So instead of picking up McDonald's, go to the local restaurant, eat probably some better food, and get miles in return, okay? Finally, use the shopping portals when you're completing work purchases. This, to give you an example, came real clutch when I was in my previous job, when I had to do a lot of printing. And so what I would do is I'll either go through the Alaska shopping portal or through Rakuten and see which one of the two offered the most miles for Office Depot or for what's that other store, Staples, right? And so for my printing needs. And so every one time I had to print out about $200 worth of materials. I got an extra 2 times points on that, 400 miles right there. Okay, that's what we want you to start getting used to doing. Okay, that even for these work expenses, you can get yourself some extra points on the side for free. Okay, all right. Now let's start moving away from the truly free ways to ways to amplify your points and miles earnings. So these are not totally free, okay? But these are ways that you can earn even more points and miles on the spending that you are already doing. Keyword, already doing. Not more, but what you're already doing. So, shopping portals. Okay, the majority of U.S. airlines have them. You can add Rakuten here as well. Also, the Chase shopping portal. Chase is specifically credit card tied, but Rakuten is not. And what these shopping portals allow you to do is to earn more points and miles on your online or in-store shopping. To give you an example, stop going to the Nike store directly to buy your shoes there. Instead, go to the Nike store, look for the shoes you want, try them on, make sure they fit you well, come back home, wait till the offers on any of the shopping portals are at 8 times miles or 10 times or even 15 times miles, as I've seen it before, buy your shoes then. And so instead of giving $100 to Nike and getting nothing back in return, now you're getting yourself at least, depending on the number of miles, let's say 10 times miles, now you're at least getting 1,000 miles back on your purchase. That's what we want you to do. We want you to amplify your current shopping. Now, the cool thing about these shopping portals is it does not require a credit card, okay? You can put whatever card, if you have to use a debit card, in most instances this would be the case, if you have to use the debit card, you can still use the shopping portal. The shopping portal only is there to track the purchase through online, okay? It does not require a credit card. Of course, if you had a credit card, that's even more ways to amplify, right? But again, these are non-credit card travel hacks, so you can still use the shopping portal. I did put in the credit cards also have their own shopping portals. Like I said, Rakuten will allow you to earn Amex points. Chase shopping portal, of course, earns you Chase points, but that's separate. And now there are additional bonuses that are offered periodically. Those are the perfect times to shop, right? Don't buy your Nikes when they're only offering 2 times miles. Wait till they start offering 8, 10, 12, 15 times miles. That's when you want to go ahead and buy your Nikes, okay? Like I said, if you have a credit card, double dip, right? That's obvious perfect strategy there. And again, cannot stress this enough. Only make necessary purchases. Stay within your budget. That way you're not overspending on your money. Dining portals, okay? Same concept as the shopping portal. Majority of the U.S. airlines and hotels have a dining portal. They allow you to earn more points and miles by dining at local restaurants. So that actually helps local businesses, okay? So stop eating at KFC and Chick-fil-A as much as you might like it and McDonald's. Start going to local restaurants. And hey, support local business, change, have a, try something new, and at the same time, earn points and miles. Okay. Now you can link multiple credit cards per dining portal or multiple debit cards, so on, but only one, what is this? Only one card can be linked per dining portal. So you could have 5 different cards linked to one dining portal, but then that card stays to that dining portal. You can't use one card, one debit card, to 5 different dining portals. Hope that makes sense. Okay. No credit card allows you to earn the amount of points and miles that you can gain from your dining expenses. Okay. So what we mean by that is that the most you can gain from a dining purchase with a credit card is the Amex Gold, which is 4 times, or the City Premier, which is 3 times. Okay. The dining portals actually can allow you to earn 5 times miles with the Alaska one, for example. It might even be higher depending on the bonuses that they're offering. Both Hilton and Marriott do have their own dining portals as well. All of them but Marriott grant you the points and miles per the number of times you dine out. Marriott is a little bit different where it's tied to your loyalty status, so that's interesting. And again, if you have the ability to use a credit card, double dip, right? But even if you don't, you can still use your debit card, tie it to a dining portal, and you can at least rake in those points and miles while you're using your debit card, while you're using any other financial tool to do your transactions. Okay. Saving on gas. Look, this is still important, right? We realize just how, how much life revolves about the price of gas. And we have seen in this year how crazy gas prices can get, right? So you want to make sure you're using apps like Gas Buddy or even Google Maps to help find the cheapest gas in your area, okay? Not only that, most grocery stores offer points that you can save on gas purchases. So for example, what we do here is we typically shop at Harris Teeter, and they are tied to BP. So we typically, let's say we spend about maybe 150, 200 bucks a month at Harris Teeter, let's say more or less. That gains us enough points with Harris Teeter that when we go to BP, that gives us 30 cents off of our gas, okay? And 30 cents is a lot of money in this day and age, okay? So look at where you're shopping for groceries and see what gas station program you can connect to, okay? And then that way you can start saving on gas. Earning gas rewards are clutch, especially if you travel in boats driving between host cities. In 4 years' time, look, there's already rumblings. I was part of a chat on MLS through Twitter, and we spoke with Alexi Lalas, and he told us that even in 1994, during the U.S. World Cup in 1994, there was a lot of fans that look back fondly because of the road trips they did. And so what you want to start doing is, hey, there's going to be a lot of people traveling on the road. You might even want to have a road trip, right? Between any of these major cities in the US, Canada, Mexico. So start incorporating this idea of picking up Shell rewards, right? Or 7-Eleven rewards, and start racking up those points. So that way, by the time the World Cup comes around, every time you go to the gas station, you need a bottle of water. Instead of spending $2, hey, let me claim these points on this water bottle, right? If I want a hot dog on the way, cool, let me get that hot dog on points, as opposed to spending those $2, those $4. And you start seeing, hey, I have a lot more cash in my pocket now. Okay. That's what we want you to do. Okay. Again, if you are able to have a credit card, you always want to pair it, amplify your earnings that way. Student loans. Hashtag cancel student debt. Hashtag cancel student debt. But you can actually also earn points and miles by refinancing your student loans. I did that. Okay. I decided to get away from the PSLF program back in 2018 because it was trash back in the day. Now I wish, maybe I wish I would have stayed at least to get the $10,000 off. But in any case, if you're in a situation where PSLF doesn't work for you, if even after this $10,000 student loan relief, you still have a significant amount that you still need to pay off, well, you could refinance your student loans through SoFi. And what SoFi has, and this is not a sponsored ad or anything, this is just my experience with it, is that you can earn 1 Alaska Air mile per every $2 you refinance up to 50,000 miles. Okay. Now, as with anything involving loans and refinancing and whatnot, always make sure you're getting the best interest rate. I did. SoFi was the best interest rate that was being provided to me at the time of the refinance. That's why I went with them. And so, and of course, I think I ended up getting 35,000 miles. Yes, I ended up getting 35,000 miles. So I refinanced $70,000 of student debt. And those 35,000 miles I used for my business class flight on Japan Airlines, JAL, during our honeymoon. So it was a beneficial move for me then. It has paid off dividends for sure for me. Still, I'm about $30,000 left to go, but I am hoping to finish paying off that student debt by next year. So, and trust me, I would not have been able to do that had I not refinanced. Again, everyone's situation is different, but this is a very interesting way to earn points and miles, okay? And especially if you are on the West Coast, Alaska miles are very beneficial because then you can book a flight from Seattle to San Francisco and to LA with miles on Alaska Airlines, and that should at least cover you at least one or even two round trips, okay? Of course, make sure you're paying off your student debts. Make sure you make that part of your plan as you get closer to 2026, because you just want to make sure that you do not have to put any more money into those evil student loans, and instead, more money in your pocket, more money for you to be able to travel during the World Cup. Okay, so quick tip, in case you forgot, sign up for all the loyalty programs you can think of that you will use, and make sure to use them in your travels, please, okay? No le pena, don't forget, just plug in that loyalty number, okay? All right, let's continue. Another way to amplify your travel savings is by using travel coupons. Yes, mi gente, listen. When I was growing up, we grew up in very difficult circumstances in Miami. One of the few times that we were able to travel would be on road trips up and down the East Coast, right? Cool. And one way that we would save on hotels is that whenever you would stop at the rest stops, you go to the bathroom and everything, and then there's like these little booths where they have like the travel coupons right there. It'll be like 10% off on the what else is on the Howard Johnson and Days Inn. I know, kind of very roadside travel hotels. Maybe not what we show Latinos with passports, right? We're like a little bit more on the luxury side, but no, hey, listen, that was the origin story, right? We had to stay at the the cheaper hotels, sort of say. But those are really great ways to save money, especially if you're traveling on the road, especially if you're going to plan a World Cup travel that is driving focus, right? That you're going to drive up and down the interstate highways. This is a great way to get savings on roadside hotels, on local attractions that are not related to the World Cup, right? Especially when you're going to all these different cities. And now, most of these hotels are of lower quality, okay? I ain't saying this is a Four Seasons, but they will be great for budget travelers. And look, we're very much still budget travelers too. We might not want to stay at a Days Inn, but for some of you, say that you're on the younger side, or with less means, but you still want to have a vacation out of it. No shame in that, okay? Absolutely no shame. Save yourself money while you're traveling, okay? And that's how we did it, and that's how we would be able to pull off those trips too. Rakuten can also serve as an online cash back alternative when booking travel as well. It's obviously, if you have American Express, that's the preferred method because you gain those Amex points. But again, if you're looking for cash back, especially if you don't make as much, Rakuten can serve as a really great way to save on travel-related expenses, which then you can also double dip. That says double sip, but double dip on Rakuten when booking hotels, car rentals, and select airlines. Okay, Google Flights. People ask us all the time, hey, what are some of the great websites to search for flights? Google. Google it, all right? It allows you to search for cheap flights, hotels, and vacation homes. I mean, the tool has increased in its capabilities to search you the best deals possible, okay? It allows you to search based on dates, prices, other filters, like which airline specifically or what hotel chain. You can set up price alerts to track the flights as they go up and down in price. You can search things to do in that host city. Now, when we get to the point of the Patreon, right, we're going to talk more about the host cities and things to do in those host cities. But hey, Google Maps and Google Flights are such great tools to search things to do in your local city. We always recommend to book directly with the airline or with the hotel chain as opposed to with an online travel agency like Booking.com or Expedia, because as you might have seen during the pandemic, those companies like Priceline, Expedia, Booking.com were less willing to offer refunds to their customers as opposed to the hotels and airline companies directly, because at least you had that one-to-one relationship. Not only that, booking with an OTA puts you in a less priority. Say if you go to a Marriott, but you book that Marriott room through Priceline, Marriott's gonna want to take care of their loyalty members first, and they're gonna put you off to the side, even if you pay for a highly expensive room. So keep that in mind as you're looking to ways to not only amplify your travel savings, but also make sure that you are getting the best deal possible. Okay. Additional ways that you can save on dining. Well, you can have the Yelp app, which allows you to search best places to eat. It provides discounts on dining. Sometimes they'll give you like a QR code, which then you can show to the cashier, and then boom, they'll go ahead and scan it. There's your savings. Convenience stores like 7-Eleven, as I mentioned before, have loyalty programs. Hey, what's better than those 3 for 3 taquitos? 3 taquitos for $0. Okay. Save those restaurant coupons that you receive in the mail for road trips. Look, you know what I'm talking about. You get those McDonald's, Subway, Burger King. I ain't saying go eat only that food. All right, you gotta keep yourself healthy. But hey, those coupons might come in the clutch when you got nothing else to eat. You've been driving all day, and hey, if that Burger King right there is open and you need 2 Whoppers, might as well save yourself some money on those 2 Whoppers. Rest stops, again, cannot stress enough, especially if you're doing road trips, how important they are for dining discounts. Roadside areas like Denny's or any other local eats. Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub can also provide discounts on pickup orders. Okay, don't spend your money on having the food delivered to you. There might be a case with Uber Eats because of the Marriott hack, but more often than not, you're going to come out saving money during doing the pickup orders. Okay. For those of you with debit cards, okay, your bank might offer some discounts through your debit card. Okay. For the longest time, I was with Bank of America, and in my debit card, it will say, hey, you can save 10% off at Advanced Auto Parts or 5% off at Chili's. Those are very useful. Okay. So you can link those different types of offers, such as dining and travel, to earn those discounts and hey, get back money. Okay. Now you have to make sure that you link those offers before you spend. Okay. And new offers do appear periodically, so just make sure that you're keeping your eye out for those. And as with the shopping portals, don't overspend and have a spending plan. And of course, because you're using your debit card, make sure you have the funds available before using your debit card, because you might be hit with an overdraft fee, and that's like the last thing we want you to be doing. Okay. All right, mi gente, that was the last slide. Let me go ahead and exit out here from the full screen. Let's go ahead, and we have some time. Awesome. Let me go ahead and stop sharing the screen here. Go ahead and exit out of this. Stop share right here. Let me go ahead and turn on my video. Folks, if you have questions, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself or type them in the chat, please do so at this time. But hopefully, this was a really good, useful summary of all the non-credit card ways that you can travel hack between now and the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and of course, just for your everyday spending and travel habits. So questions, comments, please put them in the chat, or please feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask your questions. And we'll just go ahead and give it the awkward pause, 30 seconds. In the meantime, if you haven't checked out our main Instagram, Latinos with Passports, we did go to a soccer game in Cartagena. It was really quite steamy weather. We did get to see the local soccer team there, which was a pretty cool experience. I'd never been to a soccer game in Colombia, and this was in the 2nd division. So yeah, pretty cool experience. Go check it out. We made a reel about it as well. Folks, questions, please type them in the chat box or unmute yourself at this time. Nadia, you might be speaking, but you're muted. Not sure if you're wanting to ask a question. Thank you, Kashif. Appreciate that comment. And please do share the website. Please do share the links, so that way folks can sign up for the newsletter. So in that way they can go ahead and receive the links on time as well. Okay, folks, it looks like there might not be questions, and that's totally fine. That just means that, hey, we might have covered all the information at hand. So listen, thank you once again for joining us tonight. This recording will be made available in the next couple of days on our website. If you have friends or family that want to stay in touch as to how they can save money during their 2026 World Cup travel, please visit thecopatravelers.com. Sign up for a newsletter. That way you can receive, not only the links to these webinars, but you're going to be receiving more information about how we're going to make the transition over to Patreon, and then of course provide you with all that information for the travel hacking for the 2026 World Cup. Thank you very much, mi gente. Have a good night. Really appreciate your time.